Alrighty, so in this live stream I am going to be looking at printing the 3D wheel that I designed last night. Unfortunately, I was going to print this last night, however I ran into some issues. The gist is that this green screen is going to mess with this, but I basically had this piece, which is the Mega S extruder version 0.03 switch. Switch is probably a separate word, but this piece basically broke on my printer. I basically used a voltmeter or a multimeter to check the resistance, and there was nothing wrong with the hot end on the 3D printer. So I got this guy on Amazon for about £11.95. Managed to buy some extra filament and made sure I got enough to be able to get it next day. So finally replace that, and when it happens again I've got another one as well, so there's a spare. And I've also got another hot end that is being delivered tomorrow, so we definitely have everything we need to be able to start working on this project. So with that, let's do a quick intro and let's get into trying to print this thing. Alrighty, so I have been working with Fusion 360, and thank you so much. Yesterday I had, I believe, Spencer Parker and Burning Rubber 60 came on my live stream, and they helped me to build out a part that I'm building for an electronic skateboard, or electric skateboard, that I've got. So what you're seeing on the screen right now is the part that we designed yesterday. I'm just going to go in and I'll give you a little view of this. So this is basically a sleeve that's going to be going over a 75mm in diameter wheel. And we've basically designed this. We put a little lip on each side, so when it goes over it's going to be quite a snug fit. It's actually going to print slightly smaller than the actual 75mm wheel. And we're going to squeeze it over the top. Eventually I'm going to glue it on, and we'll see how that works. But what you can see here is we put a little lip in on the back, and if you look here we've done the same on the front. So the idea is that it shouldn't have sideways movement. To give it a little bit of extra grip, I also inverted some pipes, and what you can see here is that there are these little sort of lugs that have been cut out of the tyre, in theory to help with the resistance or whatever. This is the first edition of this, so we're going to see what it's like. So we used Fusion 360 to go and build this part. What we then used was Simplify 3D to go off and show how this is going to basically be printed. So what you can see here is the way it's done. We added in some raft support, so I'm going to have to do a bit of a cleanup. There's 4 of these things to print, which is going to be really annoying. It says that it's going to take 12 hours to print. I don't know if that's actually going to be accurate. I hope it's not. But we will see. It doesn't feel like it's a massive part, but we shall definitely see. So what we're going to be using today is an Anycubic Mega Pro. I think it's part of the Mega 3 series. It's definitely got a P on the front, and I'm going to divert now to show you that printer. So you're now seeing my printer all set up, and it's basically here. I've had to disassemble all of this. Eventually I'm going to do a video about this, but I've basically disassembled all this, replaced everything, and you can see now that everything is working fine. I have some cool orange filament because I thought the wheels being orange would be quite cool. We have my cables at the back here, and what I'm going to do now is go off and set this thing running. So if you've never seen a 3D printer printing something, this is going to be quite a cool little thing. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm even going to show you the menu so you can just get an idea of what's going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click print. So with this 3D printer, what we have is you've got this kind of hotbed, and I set this to a temperature, I think, of 50 degrees centigrade as the the starting temperature. We're extruding this filament that I've got at 220 degrees, and we will see how this goes. So I haven't adjusted the bed. It should be okay from all the last stuff that I printed. Bed should be reasonably clean. I don't care about too much about the perfection of how this is. We can see here, finally, after replacing that part, we're seeing some warm room readings of the room temperature of the hot end. So here it's saying 22 and it's set to 0, and this one's telling me the bed is 19 set to 0. So I have loaded in the file, and I have it on a little card here that contains basically the G-code file that you need to print with. And what we do is we basically go and insert that into the side of the machine, and then I come over to the print selection. It's telling me that there's an SD inserted. I can now click print, and this is either where it's all going to go wonderfully or it's not. Right, so we can see here, it's not showing on my thing. Let's click refresh. Okay, it's not there. I'm going to have to go and rename and print this again. So back over to my workstation. Okay, so this is the tool that I want. I'm plugging this in now to the computer. Maybe we have to eject it properly or something like that. Right, so save disk toolpath. Okay, no name, which is fine. Let's just call this X-Way wheel. Let's all just do it lowercase, just a X-Way wheel. Right, definitely is going there. Okay, save. Okay, exporting. Right, let's take this back over to our print station. Just whilst I'm doing that, I'm going to try and eject the disk drive just to make sure. Right, eject. Okay, that has ejected it. Let's plug it in and see if our file is there or not. It's going to be really annoying if it's not. So I'll have to use a different one. So the machine's struggling to read it. Right, okay, SD inserted, let's refresh. Oh, okay, maybe it was there. I just didn't press down. Okay, that's maybe, these are all my previous projects, so let's have a look. I've done some weird stuff in here. Coasters, Back to the Future, feeder, jib. That was a mount I made for my paddleboard. Red pedal thing. That's annoying, it's not on the disk. Okay, back to the workstation, and I have a different card here, so I am going to use that. So let's try this one. This one's an 8 gig card, and hopefully it lets me save it to that. Okay, click allow. I'm using a Mac here to do this. Okay, 8 gigabyte. Okay, I can see it's got 2 G codes already on there. Let's click save toolpath, and let's just put it to there. Save. Okay, saving. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, I can see it now on the drive, so I'm ejecting the drive, and you guessed it, back over to the print station. Okay, we're back. Literally wheel my chair around, and here we go. In it goes. Right, it's time to refresh. Okay, X-Way Ripple wheel. Okay, so that's the one that we want. Okay, it's selected. So then what I can do is press this now. You can't see it on the stream, but that says print. So I'm just going to move the camera up, so now you get a view of everything going on here. So it's a little bit more exciting for you all. Cool. Right, I'm now going to press print, and let's see what happens. Okay, so our screen, I'll show you a little bit about the screen. So down here on the screen, we've got some values. It is telling me it is heating the bed right now to 50 degrees. So this bed that is here is going to get to 50 degrees, then it will start the printing process and start heating up the hot end that is up here, which is where it extrudes this TPU material. If you were printing anything else, it would do it with that too. Right, so again, let's give you a decent angle of what's going on, and we will now wait and see what happens? Okay, we're at 33 degrees, 34, 35. Okay, a little bit of time for this thing to kick off. And this is actually what it's like when you print something. You have to wait for all this stuff to basically take its time to heat up, etc. For those of you that are interested in 3D printing, this thing is called a hot end. And this is basically what extrudes out the plastic that you see that we have here, plastic or TPU. And you basically have a heating element here, which basically makes this thing damn hot. Cooling sink here, and then you've got something called a thermistor, and that is how we're getting this reading on the bottom of the screen down here that is telling me what the state of things are. Right, we're at 44 degrees, heading towards 50, and when we go up to 50, it's basically going to start heating our hot end that's here. Basically this piece here, which is mounted in there, it has this little jet where it extrudes the material, and this hot plate is basically where it's going to get printed. So it's going to do a little sort of raft on the base, and then we'll see it kicking off. So we're almost there. Right, we're at 49 degrees, and my target is 50 degrees centigrade. And right, we're there, we've hit there. So what we should now see is our hot end heating up. So I'm going to move the camera a little bit. Okay, we can see now the hot end has been told to start heating up. So it's currently 22, and it's starting to go up 23. So that's this value here. It's starting to heat up at 31, and this here is keeping a good temperature on the base. So we are so close to kicking this print off. So we're at 62 degrees. Just waiting for 220. I can hear the fans have just kicked on up here. So on this Anycubic machine, there's a fan here. There's a fan on the other side. Just keeps things cool for to stop other plastic melting. And this hot end is currently already up to 115 degrees centigrade. So we are going to be seeing this thing kicking off momentarily. So we should be well underway. So far, this is the annoying thing about 3D printing, is it takes time to get up to this stage. So it's already taken 3 minutes since I pressed the print button to get to the state where we're ready to print. So our hotbed still sitting at 50 degrees centigrade. It's going to basically keep that temperature for the first layer that it's going to print. Then it's basically going to start cooling down. Right, we're at 202. We're so close to kicking off. 205, 209, 212, 215. We'll probably start to see a bit of stuff coming out of the nozzle as we get to the right temperature. Right, we are definitely at temperature now, and we should be kicking off any second. So right, we're at 225, 224, 223, 222, 221, 220. Okay, we should be kicking off. Now we're going. Okay, you can see the device is moving, and the plate has moved. So that's the other cool thing. This thing only goes left to right. The base plate is what moves around. So now, in a second, we're going to see our print kick off. And this is where I hope that in the storage that this has, that the leveling hasn't screwed up. It should hopefully be okay. Okay, so it's extruding a little line. I can see a little line being drawn very lightly. Okay, it's drawing the raft on the outside. So I don't know if you can just see roughly where we're starting to see our plastic forming. Okay, so there's a few bits of strands going on there, but this is going to be the outside raft. Okay, now it's printing. Let's bring the first bit for us. Okay, let's go a little bit slower. We've set this currently to quite a fast printing speed because apparently this filament that we're using, which is TPU, can support it. So we'll find out if that is true or not. It's currently not looking great on the print bed, but we'll see. No, it's just printing a raft for us. shut up and let it do its thing. First layer is a bit of a mess, but it's kind of doing okay. We'll see as this goes through. Hey, Glovey VR. It's currently printing a 3D sleeve that I've designed to go over a skateboard wheel. So it's just printing the first layer. So it should start producing something decent soon. But I did have a problem with one of the parts, so I just come back over to my virtual cam. What we did have, I had to replace this, which was a little bit annoying. So this was a part of the extruder, this little board, which caused some issues, and it turned out it was basically shorting, so I had to get a new one of those. But anyway, back to the print. For those viewing on the stream, basically what's going on right now is that the printer is going through doing this. So this is currently what you were seeing when we look at the printer. It is printing this first layer, and then it's going to jump up and start printing these other layers. and the red is where we start to see our actual model being built, and the others are basically rafts. So let's see that as it's basically making shape. So exciting times. So for this project, for anybody that's viewing and joining us, this is a sleeve that's going to go over some skateboard wheels. Annoyingly, that we are going to have to print 4 of these. So we shall see how successful this turns out. This is very experimental. Probably get a little bit closer in on the action as well here, to be fair. See if I can boost the lighting here. Should be able to get you guys some better lighting on this. Just give me a second. And of course, the print has failed. So we're going to stop the print. So I'm going to head back over to the printer, stop it, and I'm going to have to look at fixing the bed. Okay. So, basically what happened was the print, definitely the bed needs aligning. I've got to do that now. So I'm going to get some paper and try and get that set up. But it failed. Annoyingly, this stuff is actually... Oh man, this stuff is really strong, so it's going to be really durable for a wheel. I cannot even break that. I'd have to... That is going to be great for a wheel. I mean, that's one positive thing about TPU. It is really strong. It feels really rubbery. It's perfect material for what we're trying to build. But I'm going to have to make some alterations to the print bed. So leave me a while to do that, and I will start another stream where hopefully this thing actually prints in a much better way. But yeah, I'm really impressed with the strength of this stuff. Yeah. Thanks for watching.